But let's also talk about the kind of setback that the Adani Group is now facing, because now it has been removed from the S&P indices as well, and that is going to be a big setback for the Adani Group. So in the Indian markets as well, we've seen the kind of bloodbath on Sensex, but now we have another jolt coming in from the US markets as well. From the S&P Dow Jones Sustainability Indices, Adani Enterprises has been removed. The shares have been removed for the moment. And this decision has, of course, been taken after media stakeholder analysis. So an analysis was done based on the share prices seeing a complete fall, after which this decision has been taken. This comes at a time when the Adani Group is already facing a tough time in the markets in India. So the group is facing allegations of stock manipulation as well as financial fraud. These are the allegations against the group. As we know, immediately after in Sensex, there has been a complete dip in the share prices. This was after the Hindenburg report came out that said that the Adani Group had been indulging in financial irregularities. Let me go across to Shamit Sarkar, my colleague who is joining us for the broadcast, with the details. Shamit, what does this mean? It's been a setback for the Adani Group in the Indian markets, now being removed from the S&P Sustainability Indices as well. So what does it really mean for the Adani Group? Does it mean that, this setback for the Adani Group of companies is going to continue for a long time? Break this down for us.
Well, if you see the removal of Adani Enterprises from the Dow Jones Sustainability Index, that is not expected to have a much meaningful impact for the company because the value of that index compared to other indices like the FTSE or the MSCI is relatively less. But this could be a precursor that FTSE or MSCI are also reevaluating Adani Enterprises as a stock in the index, their inclusion in that index or not. Also, that's one of the precursors, and that is one of the concern that the street has currently, because if you see in the last 5 days, the share prices of Adani Enterprises have slipped by around 60%. That's a staggering 60% drop in a Nifty 50 company. Because of this also, we are seeing some pressures on the market also. But overall, if you see what the market wants to know right now is the fact that how is the company planning to grow going forward, given the fact that the FPO of 20,000 crore rupees, which was the largest FPO in India, was called off by the company. So what the street would want to know at this moment is what is their plan going ahead. They were supposed to use around 10,000 crore rupees of the FPO amount for the capital expenditure purpose. So going forward, what or how is the company planning to do their capital expenditure, and how are they planning to raise this 10,000 crore of funds that they required for that, is something that the street would want to know going ahead. But removal of Adani Enterprises from Dow Jones index would not have a much bigger impact on the stock. But anyways, we are seeing a drop of around 25% on Adani Enterprises in day's trade, and this is after the stock has been included in the ASM list by the BSE.
Okay, so there's been a continued slump. So that means that there are still a lot of worries around the Adani Group of companies, and the fact that the 20,000 crore FPO was withdrawn has not really added to those worrying sentiments among the investors. So what next? Going by the fact that the Adani Enterprises and 3 other stocks are also under the increased lookout from the SEBI, and now that the stock, it had been suspended as well because of the fact that it saw another 10% slump. What does this mean, and how long is this expected to go on?
Removal of the stock from that index is a kind of a technical pressure and not a fundamental pressure on the company. Yesterday also, company came out with a statement saying that the fundamentals continue to remain strong and the businesses continue to generate good amount of cash flow. And this inclusion in ASM is more of a technical thing, because we have seen a sharp decline in the share prices of all the 3 stocks that are in FNO, that is Adani Enterprises, Adani Ports and Ambuja. Now, from the last week high, we have seen a drop of close to 32 to 55% in these 3 companies, and that's one of the major reason why these stocks have been brought under the ASM list, because of extreme volatility in the share prices. So this is more of a technical thing that has been done for these 3 companies.
Okay, all right. Shamit, thank you for joining us with those updates. We'll of course continue coming back to you for a better understanding of the markets and what it means for the investors.